Okay, good morning, welcome back. We're in Southend on Sea, which is near London, and we're going to head in towards London City Airport. That's the plan. Right. Okay, loads of fuel on board. Brakes off. And we shall start rolling takeoff. Currently on the southbound runway. On the main wheels. There we go. Lift off. It's not south facing, is it at all? Right, south is sort of behind me. Okay, so we'll pull the wheels up now. I had no idea all this was going on at Southend. I always thought it was a much smaller airport than that, but never mind. There is the coastline. So we're going to continue to climb. Quite a strong crosswind there from the left. Feel the sideways drift there. So we're going to be going down, routing down to the coast, and then along the estuary towards London. Southend Pier over there. Speed's building. Everything's in the green, no warnings. Okay, so we can safe to head out over the coastline here. Work our way down the estuary, heading about 240. There we go, 240, roll out. There's lots of little estuaries and things coming off the Thames at this entry point, really. And the real thing I'm looking out for at the moment is the Queen Elizabeth Bridge, which is the Dartford Bridge. It's a road traffic bridge. There is a tunnel, but the tunnel couldn't, the Dartford tunnel, that really couldn't cope with the traffic, so they built the bridge. And they decided to have the traffic going over the bridge one way and coming back through the tunnel the other way. So that's what we'll be keeping a lookout for, the Queen Elizabeth Dartford Bridge, which is absolutely enormous. Weather doesn't seem to be too bad today. Not overcast, it's a bit windy. But generally speaking, visibility is good. More caravan parks. I'm amazed at how many caravan parks there are. So just south of Grimsby there was so many caravan parks. It was like an entire city. Coming down the east coast before we got to the Wash, I thought, wow, that's incredible. And there's a ship down here which was sunk during the Second World War, and it was full of ammunition and explosives, and to this day it sits on the bottom. It didn't blow up, it just sank, and they're in despair because they don't know what to do with it, because they know if it goes off, goodness knows what mayhem will follow. But it's a hazard, it certainly is, and it is underwater, and it's somewhere down near the Dartford Queen Elizabeth Bridge. It is marked on all the charts, keep away, and it was deemed to be too dangerous to do anything with it. You know, you couldn't deliberately blow it up because that would be catastrophic, and couldn't really unload it and tamper with it, so that they just cordoned it off and left it on the bottom of the water. It's quite worrying, actually. I'll have to look into that more and bring you more about that story. So other than that, I don't really know what the story is. Nice, I can see two enormous pillars in the distance, so that's probably the bridge. I can't really tell from this range, it's a long way off yet. I'm not sure why there's a crane in the water like that, but is it a glitch? I don't know. I don't know. My wife's watching The Crown again, first series. And I've taken the opportunity to come flying and have one of my daily chats. I was looking at shotguns the other day, and was looking at a few documentaries on the television, you know, world's most expensive shotguns. You could pay 80 to 100,000 pounds for a shotgun. And I thought, what a load of nonsense. You know, you could buy a really good quality high-end shotgun, sporting shotgun, one that you can actually take shooting. Whereas if you go and buy one of these fabulously overpriced shotguns from Purdy or Holland and Holland or someone like that for 100 grand, I mean, you wouldn't dare to take it out in case you scratch it. It's got walnut grips and engraving and all this. It doesn't make you a better shot, does it? Oh, what a waste of money. Did you fire 24 karat gold back shot? All your brass cases beautifully engraved. Your bullets cost £700 each. You know, it's just ridiculous waste of money, in my opinion. To get something like that, you're never going to shoot it. It seems to be in a display cabinet. Complete utter waste of money, I think. Right. I'm pretty sure that's the Queen Elizabeth Bridge coming up, so this shipwreck should be around here somewhere. Might have passed it, I don't know. I must look into that. Clearly catering for people with too much money. You don't know what to spend it on. There you are, sire. We've got some 24 karat gold bullets. Would you like to fire them? Only £700 a shot. Would you like a box of 50 or 100? Oh. While people are starving, you know. Going down the food bank. I'll tell you what, when you find out where that ammunition ship is, that's on the bottom, you wouldn't want to buy a house anywhere near that, because it could go off at any time. I mean, it's been on the bottom since the Second World War, and they're hoping that it will just rot away, and all the but we know for a fact munitions from that period of time can lay in the ground rusting, and it's double deadly still. So anything that's packed properly in munition crates and then gone to the bottom, it's going to take a long time to rot away, isn't it, really? I do know it's around somewhere near the Dartford Bridge. This is it, this is the Dartford Bridge. Queen Elizabeth II Bridge. All the shipping has to come this way that's going to London. And you see, the Tower Bridge was the last bridge that needed to open for ships, because the next bridge is London Bridge, and nothing big is going to get under that bridge. And that's where the docks were. There was all wharfs there and for unloading the ships and that, but they're not there anymore. It's all been demolished and redeveloped, so there's no need for ships to go that far. That's why Tower Bridge doesn't open very often anymore. It still does open. Just not very often. But I suppose back in the day it was opening and closing every 5 minutes, wasn't it? That's why they had the footbridge over the top, so people could still walk over the top. There we go, this is the Queen Elizabeth Bridge, Dartford Bridge. Now we are winding up the Thames seriously. All the way to Docklands. We used to follow the pipeline from here. In pipeline helicopter days. Squawking 0036, as I recall. They're all squabbling in Parliament again. Conservatives are accused of being anti-Islamic or something, Islamophobic. And the Labour Party's anti-Semitist, something like that. You can't really talk about religion or politics because you can't, if someone has a religion, they have a faith, you can't tell them their faith is wrong and another faith is right, because they will have none of it. Absolutely not. So you shouldn't even bring religion into politics. I mean, politics is bad enough as it is. You bring religion and politics in one thing, all that's going to happen is everyone's going to argue and disagree and bicker and squabble. I don't know why they do it. I really don't know why. These people are supposed to be making our lives better, getting on with running the country, not arguing about religion. And I see they've been bombing the Yemen again, but the Americans are bombing them from their aircraft carrier, and the British are flying 3,000 miles to bomb and go back from Cyprus because they won't deploy their aircraft carrier through the area. Don't ask me why. If you've got an aircraft carrier, that's what it's for. Why don't you use it? That's my opinion. I'm not in charge. No point in moaning and pointing the finger at me. Right, just approaching Docklands Airport now. So we're going to come in and make a full stop landing. And this is adjacent to the flood barrier, Thames barrier. I'll have a quick look at the Thames barrier, I suppose. London used to flood when we get really, really high tide. It's a tidal river, obviously, so London used to flood quite regularly, and so they built this sluice gate, so the water is allowed to flow out, and then they can close it when stop it from going back and flooding London. There's the airport. We'll do a run down the airport, and then we'll have a quick look at the Thames barrier, and then we'll come in and we'll do a full stop landing. This was all Docklands. You can see dock gates and things, and ships used to moor up here, but it all became redundant, and so they've made a runway here. Look, this is London City Airport. Okay. This is that conference centre just here on the right. That's the one they were going to make into a COVID hospital. They put a load of beds in there during the COVID. I don't think they ever saw a single patient. But there you go. Here's the Thames barrier. This is the sluice gate that prevents the City of London from flooding. I'm sure that's the purpose of it. Sort of revolving barriers that can be erected right the way across, so ships can still come up and down when it's open, but this can close. All the sewage used to empty into the Thames, and so I suppose That would help to stop the sewage going back up the river. By the time the tide came back in, it just goes out, I suppose. Right, that's it. We've seen enough. We're going to go and land now. So we're going to need some wheels. I'm going to slow the helicopter down. We'll make our approach from the runway. Confirmed 2 greens, wheels are down. What a great day. Okay, we'll turn into wind, which is behind us. There we go, brakes on. Welcome to London City Airport. Thanks for watching.